and welcome back to our Sims 4 speed build. So it's been a while since I built in Sims 4 and I just kind of felt like building in it because it's been a while. I wanted to do just, I don't know, I had an idea for a house. So just, it's a small house. I mean, it's not technically too small. I mean, it's got 5 bedrooms and 4 baths. So, I mean, it looks small from the outside if you're looking at it from the front. But it's actually 3 levels. Actually 4 if you include the attic. So this house, it's actually quite expensive. It's going to cost your Sims approximately 251,000 simoleons, and it sits on a 30 by 30 lot, I believe. I built it in Newcrest, which is kind of where I tend to build a lot of stuff just because it has some of the smaller lots, and, you know, a little bit of a variety. And of course, when you go to download this, if you were to download it from my gallery, which all you have to do is look up my name, Polarbearsims, or even the hashtag, that is fine. It'll bring all the builds that I have for Sims 4 up for you. Of course, when you go to download this one and you type that in, it's not going to show the front of the house because it apparently thinks the other side, the side of the house, is the front of the lot. And unfortunately, I don't know how to get it to think where the front of the lot is, unfortunately. So this picture for it will show the side of the house, but don't worry, it is the house that you're currently seeing me build here. So the interesting thing about this house when you're looking at it, it looks like the windows on the top and the tower area is the second floor, but it's actually not. That's actually the attic, so it's kind of interesting. But that also at the same time made it where one of the bedrooms, which happens to be, I believe, the toddler bedroom, if I remember correctly, does not have any windows, which, you know, technically you can't have a bedroom without windows for security reasons or safety reasons, I guess. But, you know, it's a Sim, so who cares? Who cares exactly? So again, I'm just trying to do like this tower, and I wanted to have like a roof here, and I wanted to put stuff up there, but apparently I maxed out on my level height, which really stinks. I mean, that's just 3 floors, but you can't go any higher. So I had to use some kind of object. I'm not sure exactly what they were, and honestly I can't remember where I got them, if it came from the debug section or not. And I had to raise them up until they were flush to make kind of a roof, but that also meant that I couldn't really put anything on top of it either. It kept on, I tried, but it kept trying to snap it somewhere else. No matter what I did, I couldn't get it to, you know, go where I wanted it to go. So there is absolutely nothing on top of the tower, unfortunately, but I still think it's kind of cute. I still like the way it looks. I ended up trying to do a little bit more detail on the outside. I don't know, this house just made me feel like it was a craftsman style of house, and a craftsman style, if you're not familiar with those, they have a lot of detail when it comes to things in the house. So because of all that extra detail that a craftsman has, I tried to incorporate as much of that as I possibly could by adding just little decorations underneath the eaves of the roofs. I tried putting in some more trimmings, and I don't know, just a lot of different things I tried putting in to just to try to make it look a little bit more craftsman style like. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to add a little bit here and there. And again, you know, I apologize if it's moving a little quickly and you can't fully see what I'm doing. This house, even with being Sims 4, it took me 7 hours to build. The exterior, nowhere near as long. I cannot believe, even when I put this in to speed it up, I was like, oh my gosh, 7 hours. I couldn't believe I spent 7 hours on this house. It's not even that big. So I guess that's kind of what happens when you're trying to add a little bit extra detail to something. It just took me a little bit longer. Maybe I should have deleted some of the video. I don't know. I don't always know exactly what would be better, if I should delete some of the video or not, or try to incorporate as much of the build as I can. That way you can try to see as much as what I'm doing, so maybe you can learn what I'm doing and maybe try some of the stuff yourself. I'm not really sure. So But yeah, now I'm just trying to put in some of these windows. I really like these windows because you can get them in plain, but at the same time you can even change them around and get like a decoration put in them. So I used the decorative portion in the front of the house for more detail, but then was able to use the same windows and had them a little bit more plain for the back. So I had to do a lot of terrain editing in this build so I could have a walkout basement, because you can't actually do a basement in Sims 4 and have them walk out. You have to basically manipulate the ground and raise it up, and then like kind of build like a wall. You have to almost build your, like you seen at the beginning, I built the bottom floor to start with, and then I raised the dirt around it is kind of what you had to do. So the basement doesn't take up the entire size of the first floor of the house, because again, the whole floor, the terrain works a little bit different. I didn't even bother to smooth some of it out, so it's still a little bumpy underneath the house, but I figure that's fine. It's like whatever. So you know, if you have all the walls up and everything, don't look too bad. So I wanted to put this house, believe it or not, I don't normally do a whole lot when it comes to landscaping, but this house I actually took time, and every area of the house has something outside. Mostly because with having to do this with the terrain like I did, I needed to cover some of the gaps between like the porch here in the front and the ground. I didn't want it to look like the porch was floating, which looked a little weird. So I used a lot of these rocks. I made them smaller, made them bigger, just a variety to try to help make a little bit in the landscaping, like a retaining wall. But I also used a lot of plants as well to try to help fill in some of the gaps. Just trying my best, you know, to try to make it look as good as I can. Because landscaping is definitely not my forte. Although I would have to say I did kind of have fun with this, doing the landscaping. It was quite fun. And I just might try to do more in the way of landscaping like this in future builds. I can't guarantee for sure, but I do think I might want to try. So this was just the side of the house, and I didn't really know how to make the slant or the slope of the ground look nice because it was just really close to the edge of the property line. So it really, no matter what I did, wasn't looking right. So I went and I added like retaining walls, and then I'm just filling it in with a bunch of plants. Some of the plants are debug items, so you're not going to be able to copy them. I discovered you can't copy and click on them, not the debug objects anyway. So there's just a few of them that are in there, and then there's other plants that are just, you know, you can get from just the plant section. So I did cut a little bit out. I didn't figure you wanted to see me fiddling, you know, with the retaining wall in the ground, because it was a little bit of a struggle. So just adding a little bit more windows here and there, just trying to see what I thought would look good. And then of course here's the inside of the house. I did not show putting the floor plan in because, again, just trying to limit how much, you know, is being seen, because the video was already long enough as it was. So with it being a craftsman, I decided I wanted to put a little bit of the decoration in the archways and doorways there. So and in order to do that, I had to have, you know, I had to make sure everything was considered a room, because you know how Sims 4 is, everything has to be a room in order to put in those types of decorations. So I did test everything in this house, except for I realized I didn't test the kitchen sink. So I will test that as soon as I get done with this voiceover. If that kitchen sink is not there when you download it, that's because the Sims could not use it. But if it is there, that's because they could, and it was tested. It was just something I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not. I did test everything else though. I did test all of the bathrooms, so you'll see when I get into the decorating of the bathrooms what I mean on why I had to test them, because honestly I wasn't 100% certain with my idea if it was going to work or not. But I really liked it because, I don't know, it looked really neat, helped kind of not really modernize the house, because again, I wanted it to still feel warm and cozy for being a craftsman, but at the same time I wanted it to look updated. So I wasn't sure on my ideas for sure if they were going to work or not. So the bathrooms have been tested, every single one. There's 4 bathrooms, 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, and they were all tested. One thing I had noticed, I'm not sure if you're going to see it in the video if I cut it out or not, but the decorations in the doorways or the archways there, I took the game and I shut the game down and I came back later and I loaded it up and the decoration pieces weren't there. It went to, even though they were selected to be there, they weren't. So I had to, in order to get that to come back, I didn't test it a second time, but if it does happen to you and you put the lot in, all you have to do is click on the pillars that I put in each archway to get the decorations to appear or the details to appear. Just gotta click on it and leave it there and put it back or whatever it does. Just kind of click on it and it will make the archways go back to the way it was and it'll have the decoration pieces. I don't know why it did that, and like I said, I didn't test it a second time because I completely forgot about it, but it was a way to fix it when I did it. So I apologize for all that movement just there. I think I was just checking. Oh yes, I was looking because, you know, again, I wanted to put in these details around the house and it was just not liking it because they weren't considered a room apparently. So we had a lot of problems. That is the one thing, or one of the things about Sims 4 that seriously like really irritate the crap out of me, is making the game know that it's a room. Otherwise, you can't put in some of them decorations. It won't go along the wall or, you know, around the roof or anything like that because it doesn't think it's a room. So that's irritating. I don't like that. So here's a fake garage. I decided to do a fake garage. I wish we could have garages in Sims 4 because then it would, you know, wouldn't have to take the time into making a garage door. But yeah, that's what that is. It's a faux garage, and I put in a car from Debug. To kind of look at it so your Sims can't actually use it, so but it's just kind of there to use up some space, and I thought it looked nice, so it helped add a little bit to the exterior. So here is the dining room area. I do end up putting in some custom pictures that I had my Sim take around the world because they're called no CC wall hangings. Well, unfortunately, Sims 4 did a patch. Actually, it was actually the last patch that they had. The most recent patch took away the no CC paintings. Right there's one of them, and it's just a picture of the desert area. That's all it is, just a picture of the desert, the actual world in the game. And they claim that if you take a picture of something that is not CC, like it belongs in the game, it'll still be okay and you can still use it in your builds and it won't mark your lot as being a house with CC. So I have some of those. I had done some of those a while back and I wanted to put some of them in this house, and when I did, I went to upload it and it flagged my lot as having CC. Now I don't have any CC build items, not a single one. But it flagged all my pictures as CC, even though they were pictures taken of in-game objects that come with the game. So I have no idea if that's a glitch. I don't know if that's going to ever get fixed because according to the patch notes, that wasn't supposed to happen. That was only supposed to mark your lot modded or with CC if the item you took a picture of was of custom content. But it didn't. It marked my lot as being CC, and it really kind of irritated me because there's one behind that TV there. It's just a table setting that I designed in the house with in-game stuff. There's some pictures of plants that I took. They were just plants, you know, in-game plants that I think some of them were even base game plants. I took pictures of them, but it marked it as modded, unfortunately. Then I have some in the nursery. There's a nursery in this house, and I arranged objects in the game. Again, base game objects. There might have been maybe an object from a pack. I'm not really sure, but it marked everything as being modded, and it kind of really frustrated me because that wasn't supposed to happen. And I really hate the game's pictures. The game's pictures in this one are awful. So I apologize. Those pictures have been replaced with stuff that come with the game, with expansion packs, stuff packs. They have been replaced. So, however, if you still want to have some of the pictures that you've seen me put in this build, because you will still see a few more getting put in. If you like them, I do have them on my gallery. You can download them and you can use them to decorate your houses. Just keep in mind that if you upload anything, it might mark it as being modded. I apologize for that. They weren't supposed to do that. But again, if you use one of my pictures in a build and you do upload it, please just, let anybody know when they download that those pictures that I created them and that they can find more on my gallery. So thank you. But anyway, yeah, so now we're in one of the bathrooms. That was the first bathroom now that we're already done. I'm a little bit late to the party, but don't worry, that tub did work even with the curtain there. The tub does work. I already tested that. So this is the main bedroom area, or the master bedroom area. I wanted to have this window seat, but it had this big gap right there on the side. I already have it filled in, as you can see. I fiddled with that a lot. The window seat does still work, so don't worry. It works fine. The Sims can sit there. I used a half wall, and then I used some debug objects, and I just raised them to make it look like a built-in shelf or area there, and put some stuff on top. So it does work, so don't worry. Everything there works. I've tested that. And then here, just putting, another couch and just something to fill in the space. I'd have to say the one thing that irritates me the most, right, there's another one of my pictures and some more plant pictures. So unfortunately, I had to replace them. So if you want them, like I said, just go ahead and download them. But the one thing that irritates me probably the most about Sims 4 is the lack of the color wheel. There's so many objects, I want to use them, but it won't have matching pillows. So like my theme is green, but the only pillows I can get is pink and blue or something, but maybe I want some green, or it's the wrong shade of green and it looks awful. Just things like that. I really wish I would have had a color wheel. I don't need all the patterns, just the color wheel would have been nice so I could use different objects. I feel so restricted that I can only use certain ones instead, and it just kind of frustrates me. So that was another one of the bathrooms. Again, everything's been tested and it does work. I ended up not putting anything in the landing. I normally do, but I did not put anything in the landing this time. I realized that I forgot to put flooring in. The concrete in this game, it looks like flooring. It really does. So I apologize if I ever forget to put flooring. I know in one of my very early builds I completely forgot to put flooring in, and it's just concrete, so I apologize for that. So here is the nursery or toddler room. I just used one of the carpets or whatever to make like a rug to go with it. I wanted to make it more pink, but again, to get objects to match, that clock I couldn't get it to match, just different things, so I went with purple. So there's some more of those paintings or pictures that I had created for the nurseries. You're gonna have to, they've been replaced, so if you want them, yeah, they were replaced with ones in the games. So I went ahead and added some curtains for the bay window area. I just felt like it needed something. I wanted to do some kind of closet thing or whatever there, but I changed my mind. Wasn't really liking the way it looked, so I just put in a basic closet here, and I changed out the bed because I liked the bed frame, but I couldn't get a color combination of stuff that I liked, so I had to change out the bed and go with something else. Again, color wheel, please. When they do Sims 5, please have a color wheel. I don't care about the patterns. I don't care. I just want a color wheel. So this is just another bedroom. It could be a guest bedroom. I didn't really design it to be, a kid's bedroom. It's just kind of basic, miscellaneous, neutral stuff being put in. It does have its own balcony, so maybe you would want it to be your Sims master bedroom because of balcony. I don't know. That's entirely up to you. Here is another bathroom. This one only has a shower. It does not have a tub. Some of them have tubs and showers. Some only a shower. And everything does work here. The Sims can get between the toilet and the counter there and get to the shower. So I've already tested that as well. So that works fine. I'm not sure what else really to say about that room other than, I mean, everything works. So you can kind of see a little bit here and there, especially with the bathrooms and the kitchen are a little bit more modern, while I mean, they're not super modern, but they're definitely updated. But while the bedrooms and like living room area is kind of more warm and cozy and more traditional looking. So here's one of the kids' bedrooms, just a child's bedroom. I think I do put, I do put some toys and stuff around. A bunch of like posters and stuff to put on to kind of make it look more like, for children. A little teddy bear for them to hit and kick when they're mad, and then the house, the doll house. I always shrink them stupid doll houses down because they're too freaking big. Too big. They shouldn't take up that much room. I mean, that is the problem with a lot of the objects in this game. They take up way too much room. Have you seen how big dressers are? Dressers are huge. They're so deep and big. They take up so much room. It's ridiculous. So anyway, yeah. So I shrink it down. This is the attic space. I don't do anything with it other than put flooring, wallpaper, and lights. Go ahead and do what you want with it. Just a place for your Sims to put storage. You could probably put another bedroom in there. It's actually a pretty decent size, so you could probably make another bedroom if you need to. So here's kind of like the backyard or the outside back courtyard area. It's got a patio and some landscaping, and that's about it. I use those bushes and raised them up. That way I could make it almost look like the flowers are growing around it. So that's kind of what that is to look like. Just kind of looks like, the flowers, the bushes are just kind of growing around the gate. Like I said, I did do a little bit more landscaping than what I normally do, but I did have fun. And like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do it with every house, but I would like to try to do more landscape like this, even in the backyard, a little bit more often. I don't know how much, but I would like to give it a try. So I think that's what people want when they're downloading houses from either Sims 3 or Sims 4. I think they want houses with a lot of landscaping, front and back. I don't know, but I think that's what they want. So I'm going to give it a try. It's a little, a little different for me. It's not something I've done, but I'll give it a try. Can't guarantee, but we'll try it. So just kind of putting the dirt around everything underneath, around the rocks and stuff like that. That's when I realized I forgot the basement. Forgot to do that floor. So here we are back into the house doing the remaining areas. So this is kind of like the living room. I had thought about putting like a tennis table or whatever that table is in there. Then I thought, yeah, I didn't really like it. I didn't like how it looked. So it's just going to be like a family room. You could probably, I don't know, have some games or something there. Yeah, it's a little bit more laid back down here. A little duck thing on the table. I'm not sure what it was, but it was kind of cute. So I went ahead and used it. Some bookshelves for your Sims to read because, yeah, they tend to... they always seem like they need stuff to do. Like, they're never happy. They're always stressed. So always make sure you have, like, books and TVs. Because otherwise, your Sims are always stressed out. At least mine are. Mine are always overly stressed. So trying to find curtains. Oh my gosh. Again, I felt so limited. Because there were so many styles of curtains that I liked and wanted to use. But I couldn't get them in the color I wanted, which is so frustrating. So, and again, here's another bathroom. Don't worry, it has been tested. That shower and tub work fine, which I really liked that idea because it helped give a little bit more privacy to the person maybe on the toilet or in the shower with that wall, and everything still works. So I do kind of like that idea. I've never done them before. I just thought I'd give them a try when I was doing this house, and everything seemed to work. So that was great. So a little bit more decorating on the backyard, not a whole lot, some plants a little bit, and a bench, stuff like that, some benches around, outdoor lighting. I put a little bit here and there on the fence posts, and then I tried to put a few in the landscaping to kind of hide them, and around the rocks. That looked really nice having them in the rocks and stuff like that. So this is pretty much the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the landscaping and the ideas and what you think on trying to do a little bit more with other future builds on the landscaping. And we are now in the screenshot. So again, I hope you enjoyed. Any comments or suggestions you'd like to leave below for future builds, go right ahead. And I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.